So that illumination has brought us now to Canto 4 of Book 10, The Light is the Supreme. A moment of triumph is here. The purpose for which Savitri came here is being served in this canto. This is one of the, I will say, very deep occult cantos of Savitri. We have already seen last time the two important revelations made by Savitri, that her attempt only to love life was a blind attempt. Death also has a purpose to serve in the scheme of things. And as long as it was only life, it proved to be a failure. But now, with death, it is going to get fulfilled. That was one aspect of it. The other aspect was the whole debate, so to say, between Savitri and death was turning into a kind of a stalemate. And therefore, Savitri withdraws entirely within herself. She enters into her house of meditation, in a room in the meditation's house of Savitri. And there she sees that a constant yajna, sacrifice, is being performed in that house of meditation. That yajna performed by the Supreme Being, Satpurusha, and the Divine Force herself, the consciousness force, they are engaged in the constant yajna of this new creation in the house of meditation. And the moment she sees that that yajna is now well kindled in her house, everything changes. From behind, she becomes the leader of the march. She guides all the future movements. She controls every aspect of now their engagement. So in a way, Savitri is moving from the dream twilight of the earthly real into the earthly real, what should be. It is a dream twilight. Because, see, we had earlier the dream twilight to the ideal. Now it is the earthly real. In Canto 1, ideal, here is the real. Dream, twilight, immediately following that is a book of the everlasting day. So the twilight will open itself out into everlasting day in book 11, Canto 1, the book of the everlasting day, you see. So here, the journey is deepening, deepening, deepening. The procession is marching on. The spirit of Satyavan is there. Behind the spirit of Satyavan is death. Behind him is Savitri. And they are marching, marching, marching on. They are entering now into a region which is the central place where exists death. Where is the house of death, where he is lost. And it is into that place Savitri has to win the victory over death. Therefore, we have got here now a description of the entire passage. Very beautiful description, very occult, very profound. There came a slope that slowly downward sank, going down, 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 downward sank, slowly downward sank. Ultimately, it will sink into the void. the slope will ultimately sink into the void. It is from there death had emerged, from the void. The void. There came a slope that slowly sank down. It slipped towards a stumbling, grey descent. The dim heart marvel of the ideal was lost. In that descent, what Savitri was carrying as an ideal, she was singing the chanting the felicities hymn, Ananda Sukta, that is now also getting lost there. Its crowding wonder of bright, delicate dreams and vague, half-limbed sublimities she had left. So all things is now left behind. Thought fell towards lower levels, hard and tense, with passion for some crude reality. So obviously, thought has to fall. Thought has to fall, they receive. And then, because it is sinking down below now, where nothing can exist, thought is of course out of the question then. The twilight floated still, but change is used. See here, we have slowly downwards and towards a stumbling grey descent. From whatever brightness was there, it is slowly changing its hue. At left, thought fell short, changed its hue, and heavily swayed a less delightful dream. It settled in tired masses on the air. The twilight. The twilight settled in tired masses of the air. Its symbol colors tuned a duller reds and almost seemed a lurid mist of day. Lurid, shallow, hollow, murky. A straining, taut and dire besieged her heart. The noun for the sentence is straining. Straining, which is taut and dire, besieged Savitri's heart. That is the sentence. Heavy her sense grew with a dangerous load, and sadder, greater sounds were in her ears. Sadder, greater sounds. See, she is already going, and still more of sadness, more of sorrow, more of suffering. And through stern breakings of the lambent glare, her vision caught a hurry of driving planes. So planes are now one after the other, they're rolling out. And cloudy mountains at white, tawny streams, tawny, muddy, brown streams. And cities climbed in minarets and towers towards an unavailing, chainless sky. Unavailing, chainless sky. Nothing can be obtained from there. Nothing can be gained from that. Long quays and gharts and harbors, white with sails, challenged the sight a while and then were gone. So the whole scenery is there while she is going down, down, down into the abyss, into the void, you see. Long quays and gharts and harbors with sails challenged her sight. Now here, this is a very beautiful word, lambent glare. Lambent, little dull kind of a brightness, you see. Lambent, you see. Let me narrate a brief account about this word lambent. See, in one of the poems by Amal Kiran, the title of the poem is Sky Rims. It is a sonnet, Sky Rims. The last line of the sonnet was the last line in the beginning of the sonnet was to yet another revelatory dawn. The sonnet is a very beautiful dawn, and he concludes the line with to yet another revelatory dawn. In the context of the sonnet, in fact, I should read the whole sonnet, but we will not. We will skip. I will send that thing as a text to you. The context of the entire sonnet is such that Sri Aurobindo found the word revelatory very weak. He says it is not in tune with the rest of the text of the sonnet. And he said that perhaps you can have revealing with an appropriate adjective. Instead of revelatory, you can have revelatory, revealing with an appropriate adjective. That is what Sri Aurobindo suggested to him. Then Amal wrote back and he modified that thing by saying, to yet another rich revealing dawn. So from revelatory dawn, it became rich revealing dawn. He wanted an adjective, he has put rich. But Sri Aurobindo found that was very easily found. Rich is not really appropriate yet. Revealing is all right, but it does not give the full strength which is required for revealing. Rich is sort of superfluous, you see, in that sense. It does not really add much to revealing, you see. To yet another rich revealing dawn, Sri Aurobindo objected to that. Then Amal said another version. To yet another splendorous mood dawn. No, that won't do. Splendorous moon dawn would do. To yet another marvel miraculous dawn. See, now he is mentalizing. He is trying to coin, you see, this thing, that thing, something like that. He says, no, that also won't do. To yet another marvel miraculous dawn. No. Then he said yet another version. To yet another ecstasy of dawn. Still, ecstasy is not there at all. It doesn't work. So Amal was puzzled. He could not get anything at all. In those days, in 1931, 32, 1930, 31, 32, 3 years, Harin Chattopadhyay was also an ashramite. The poet Sarojini Naidu's brother, Harindranath Chattopadhyay, you must have heard of his name. He was a real great poet. He used to write every day 4 or 5 poems and send them to Sri Aurobindo. And mother used to say, my blue bird. She used to call him my blue bird to Harindranath Chattopadhyay. And Sri Aurobindo said, his fluency is such that I am stupefied. I can't write with that fluency. The way in which he was writing poem after just typing. Like that, you see. So Harin and Amal sat down together about this to yet another revelatory dawn. What should we do? Amal suggested, Harin suggested to yet another lambency of dawn. He suggested lambency of dawn. Harindranath. Sri Aurobindo said, look, lambency is not your word, it is Harin's. And it does not really go with the spirit of the text. Lambency does not go with the spirit of the text, you see. Flickering, light, that is what lambency means, you see. It does not go with the text. So Amal sat again for 2 more weeks, and finally he said, after a fortnight of groping, he says groping, searching for 2 weeks for one word, to yet another alchemy of dawn. Then Sri Aurobindo said, yes, you got the right word now. Alchemy of dawn. It is in tune with the rest of the poem, with the rest of the song. Yes, alchemy of dawn, you see. So that lambency of dawn, that has remained stuck in the mind of Sri Aurobindo, and here we have got lambent glare. He liked that word, but that was not appropriate in that particular context. You can see the aptness of this word here. And to stern, breaking to the lambent glare, flickering, murky, lambent glare. You can see the appropriateness of this word in the whole context, you see.
It means flickering.
Pardon me? Flickering.
Yeah,
Flickering. Yeah. Flickering, gentle glow, you see. Yeah. What is the word for this in French? Lambent? Huh? Yeah. How much? Yeah, that's right. How much? How does it translate? No, but in your translation, English. Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah, there is. Yeah. So that lambent. This is the only place in the whole of Savitri where this word lambent occurs. Only one occurrence of the lambent, you see. And to stern, breaking to the lambent glare, stern, breaking to the lambent glare. Her vision caught a hurry of driving planes. Going on, the march goes on, and cloudy mountains, and white tawny stream, and cities climbed in minarets and towers towards an unavailing, changeless sky, long quays and ghats and harbors, white with sail. Ghat, of course, is an Indian word. On the river bank, where you climb down into the river, it's called ghat. In fact, the word is ghat. Shebandu is ghat. Yeah. Yeah, but Shebandu has the English tendency of pronouncing those words. Yeah. He has the tendency of pronouncing ghat, not ghat. Ghat is a little harsh, you see. Ghat. What does he say? Ghat?
Reef. It means edge.
Yeah.
River bank.
Bank. Well, but Ghat actually is the place where from you get down and bathe in the river. Challenge sight a while and then were gone. Amidst them traveled toiling multitudes. Now the whole scene, there are toiling multitudes. How you go and live there? In ever-shifting, perishable groups, a foiled cinema, a cinema which has been stopped, which is not allowed to be successful. A foiled cinema of lit, shadowy shapes enveloped in the grey mantle of a dream. Foiled cinema. A failed cinema object, the whole thing, yeah. Which has not been allowed to succeed. Of course, in 1945, Shebandu would use the word cinema. Today, he might use some other word, television, or movie, or movie, or video, or whatever you say.
Television is
Television. Television. He has used once. Yeah, there is one occurrence of television. Television through this. Yeah. Imagining meanings in life's heavy drift, they trusted in the uncertain environment. All these perishable groups, etc., they trusted in the uncertain environment and waited for death to change their spirit's scene. So that is the tragedy. You are finally going to succumb to death only. They wait for that, you see. A savage den of labor and a tramp of armored life and a monotonous hum of thoughts. See, that is how it goes on. You are trapped there, you see. And acts that ever were the same, There is no progress at all. You keep on repeating the same thing again and again. As if the dull, reiterated drone of a great brute machine beset her soul, her of course Savitri. A great dissatisfied rumor like a ghost or the moaning of a loud and quiet sea, or the moaning of a loud and quiet sea. See, the line is a very sorrowful line, but see the rhythm, the meter, or the moaning of a loud and quiet sea. See, the line is a very sorrowful line, but the rhythm takes away all that sorrow. The charm, the beauty of the rhythm, the movement is that it removes all the sorrow. Or the moaning of a loud and quiet sea. Or the moaning, you see, or the moaning, you see, this is one foot. First foot is of the moaning. That is short, long. That is anapest. Moaning. Then second thing is, second foot is pirik, short. A loud, I am. Anqua is I am. And then again, at sea, unquiet sea. So you have got anapest, pirik, am. That's the metrical form. And that gives a kind of a beauty. See, a long foot, 3-syllable foot, or the moaning, anapest, followed by a pirik, a sort of a dip. You climb up and dip and again start jumping up. That's the tendency of sound. Or the moaning of a loud and quiet sea. A huge, inhuman, cyclopean voice, a Babel builder's song towering to heaven, a throb of engines and a clang of tools brought the deep undertone of labor's pain. Inhuman, cruel, harsh. This word inhuman appears 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times in Savitri. Inhuman, you see. 7 times in Savitri, inhuman. With the same meaning, lacking human feelings, harsh, cruel. You see. That's what inhuman means. That is the nature of the cyclopean voice. We'll see what cyclopean voice is. A huge, inhuman cyclopean voice. So you can see kind of monstrous creatures there, cruel. In contrast, you see, he doesn't say unhuman, huh? He doesn't say unhuman, he says inhuman. Unhuman, which is not man, which is not like animal or some other thing. Unhuman. Inhuman means cruel, harsh. The word unhuman occurs twice in Savitri. Unhuman also is there, you see. Unhuman means not pertaining to mankind. Not pertaining. Inhuman means cruel. You see, harsh. Cyclopean voice. This, of course, a reference to Homer's Odyssey, Cyclops, you see. And Cyclopean masonry houses, the stones covered and put together and wall like you see, with very little of lime in between banding them. But the stones are crooked, but they are piled up in a perfect manner, and then a beat voice, you see. So it becomes a masonry work also. In fact, that is called Cyclopean masonry. And there is a city which was built on the basis of Cyclopean masonry by these people, by the Cyclope. And a Babel builder's song. Babel builder, of course, has a reference to the Genesis, Old Testament, when people who spoke only one language, they started constructing a big tower. And they had already constructed a tower about 90 meters tall. The idea was to reach heaven and conquer sky. So God got disturbed. These people will come and conquer me and all that kind of a thing. So he caused some confusion in the minds of these people. He scattered them everywhere, those people, and they started talking different languages. They could not understand each other. So there was total chaos, total confusion. While they were building, they were singing, towering to heaven, Babel builders. Had they built a tower, they would have easily climbed the sky to heaven and decided there. But that had not to be. So the device was scatter them and let them speak different languages so that they cannot understand each other. They fight, quarrel, struggle, and that kind of thing. They keep themselves busy all the while. Babel built a song, towering to it. So that is what we have got in the chaos down below. This was Savitri is entering into that region. They don't understand each other, what they're talking, what they're doing, you see. A throb of engines and clang of tools brought the deep undertone of labor's pain. See, the whole thing, builder, cyclopean masonry, and then tools, engines, all those things are to build the towers. As men, pale lighting stare at tortured sky, high overhead, a cloud-rimmed Ceres flared, chasing like smoke from a red funnel driven. The false creations of an ignorant mind. False creations of an ignorant mind. That is what, so this is what the ignorant mind is doing all along. These constructions are because of that. Drifting, she of course Savitri, saw like pictured fragments flee, phantoms of human thought. What does she see? Our human thoughts, like fragments flying everywhere. The phantoms of human thought and baffled hopes, the shapes of nature and the arts of man, philosophies and disciplines and laws, and the dead spirit of old societies, constructions of the Titan and the constructions. That is what the Babel builders are. That is what the cyclopean masonry is. So all these things, philosophies, disciplines, laws, scriptures even, everything is connected with that. And that spirit of old societies, they are lying there, old society. See, we know only recent societies, Grecian, Romanist, European, but before that, there were many creations, and all the societies are there. And what they did, what they achieved, they are all present in that domain, where through Savitri is going. Means this whole place into which Savitri is moving is the archives of the past. Everything is present there. Everything is present. It is the archive. Everything is present there. All the philosophy, disciplines, laws, whatever you have thought of them. Construction of the Titan and the bomb. So the Titans came before the Olympians. They are there. All those things are there. And the worm. As if lost remnants of forgotten light, before her mind, they fled with trailing wings, dim revelations and delivering words, empty to their mission and the strength to save. So they have no power now. They have exhausted themselves completely, emptied their mission. Whatever philosophies were there, whatever she was doing, everything got disappeared. And the strength to save, the messages of evangelist gods. This is a very unique word. Well, of course, evangelist is the zealous promoter of a theology. Basically, he is very zealous. He will promote what he is believed completely. Now, these evangelists God, these are the things. Yes, my philosophy, my art, my sciences, my. Keeps on insisting. Messages of the evangelist God. So these are the messages. He says plural messages. All these things. Philosophies, disciplines, laws, etc., society, they are the messages of these zealous gods. The voice of the evangelist. By the way, the word evangelist occurs only once in Savitri, that is here. It is here. He has not used that anywhere else, you see. Voices of prophets, scripts of vanishing grace. Yeah. Everything is preserved there. These are the archives. Each in its hour eternal, claimed, went by. So it had its own moment of triumph and assertion and affirmation. But then finally, it also disappeared. Each in its hour eternal, claimed, went by. Ideals, systems, sciences, poems, crafts, tireless desperation, gained record, sought restlessly by some creative power. So the creative power is trying all kinds of things, but finally it fails and goes into the archives. But all were dreams crossing an empty wall. Ascetic voices called of lonely seers on mountain summits or on river bank. Ascetic voices called of lonely seers on mountain summits or on river bank, or from the desolate heart of forest glade, seeking heaven's rest, or the spirit's worldless being, or in bodies motionless like statues. Motionless like statues, all right. Heaven's rest and the spirit's worldless being, in trance sessions of the sleep restored, sat sleeping souls, and this too was a dream. Ascetic voices called of lonely seer. It's a very beautiful line, poetically. Ascetic voices called of lonely seers. Ascet, that is short long, I am. Ascetic voice, short long, I am. Voices called, again short long, of lonely, of lone, again short long, late here. Means we have got 5 amps here. Ascetic voices called of lonely here. All short long. T-tum. Goes on like that, you see. Ascetic voices called. Now, that's the beauty of poetic modulation, what you see here. Ascetic voices called of lowly seer. It is a very powerful line, makes an immediate impact. But had the same meter been repeated in the next line, its charm would have been lost. In the next line, the meter is changed to some extent. On mountain summits or on river banks, you see, ascetic voices called of lonely seer. On mountain summits or on river bank. There is a kind of a dip here on river bank, you see. On mountain, that is an am. Mountain summits, second, is an am. It's on, sorry, it's not coming. This, it's on, short, third foot. That is the Pyrrhic. So you have got 2 amps, a Pyrrhic, and again on river banks, short, long. So here there is a kind of a dip. Here you have got all 5 amps, but here in between you have a dip, Pyrrhic. So that change of meter gives you a kind of a newness, freshness to the whole thing, a force. Ascetic voices called of lonely seers on mountain summits or on river bank. See, had this been different, you see, for instance, instead of or on, if I put some other word to make all the 5 amps, if all the 5 amps are made, then the charm is lost. I could have said, on mountain summits, on mountain summits, wider river banks. Metrically it is perfect. Instead of or on, I put wider. So what happened there? On then some its wide river banks. So it will become I am, all the 5 I ams. So now you read again this thing. Ascetic voices call of lonely seers on mountain summits, wider river bank. See, the whole charm is gone, the poet is gone completely. That Pyrrhic has some power to give a rhythmic flow to the whole movement. On mountain summits, wider river bank, wider, broader, what you want to call it, you see. That would not do at all, you see. Each word in its appropriate place. Ascetic voices called of lonely seers on mountain summits or on river bank. Now, of course, Sri Aurobindo is not counting syllables and writing poetry like that. The whole inspiration comes out that way, spontaneously, with all those variations and changes. He is not deliberately changing like Amal, alchemy, ecstasy, this that kind of a thing, you see. On mountain summits, or on river banks, or from the desolate heart of forest cliff. See the variations in meter everywhere. Or in bodies motion like statues, fixed in transitions of the sleepless thought. Sad sleeping souls, sad sleeping souls. See? Sleeping souls, because now they are there, but they are sitting. They are sleeping and they are sat sleeping. Sat sleeping souls. Sat sleeping souls, and this too was a dream. All things the past has made and slain were there. This is the whole summary. All things the past has made and slain were there. That is the archives. Everything is buried there, kept there. All things the past has made and slain were there. Again here, the meter, you see, this is again beautiful line. All things the past has made and were there. It's a monosyllabic word, line. All, single syllable. All things the past has made and slain were there. Monosyllabic. And the meter, all things strong, spondy, both are strong. All things the past has made and slain were there. You see, I am spondy followed by 4 I ams. All things the past has made and slain were there. Its lost, forgotten form that once had lived, and all the present loves as new revealed, and all the hopes the future brings had failed. Already cut and spent in efforts vain, repeated fruitlessly, age after age. So that is the thing. See, once you are in the past, repeat, you cannot really make any progress at all. Past means all progress stopped. Everything is locked into that, you see. Repeated fruitlessly, age after age. You see, you can imagine now the power of this past. It remains there. So actually, one of the problems of the new creation, Mother is trying to bring out a new creation, is to how to dissolve this past. Whatever he is doing, he will keep on repeating again and again. So whatever she is doing, it will fall back again into that. So one of her problems is how to dissolve the past. Now you cannot pick up this and dissolve. You cannot pick up this and dissolve. You cannot pick up this and dissolve. It's not like that. It's endless. Endless. You cannot do that thing at all. So the one who holds the past, if he himself is dissolved or changed, then automatically along with that, the past would also go. I am holding the past. If I am now dissolved, removed, The past automatically will go. Therefore, her concentration, her focus is on that who holds, sustains, supports the past, death. Death. It is he who is holding it on. So, in order to clear the past, what you have to do is remove death himself. Her problem is therefore directly connected with death himself. Only when the past is removed can the new creation come and progress and move forward. And the new creation will be such that as if it will not have any past. It will keep on adding to something. It will be creative future. The new creation, you have done something today in the new creation. That does not become an obstacle for the next creation, for the next creation, for the next creation. It will be kind of supporting it, pushing it forward, you see. The past will be supporting the future. Here the past is dragging the future. Fruitlessly, age after, unburied, all return, insisting still, yes, we want to be there, that is what there, because death is present there. So that is the occult problem. Unburied, all return, insisting still, because of joy in the anguish of pursuit, and joy to labor, and to win and lose, and joy to create and keep, and joy to kill. The rolling cycles passed and came again. Well, this is what happens. Karma keeps on repeating. Karma keeps on coming and coming. Brought the same toils and the same barren end. Forms ever new and ever old. The long appalling revelations of the world. So that is the problem Savitri is now facing. When she is moving to that region, ghats, minarets, towers, those plains, she is now facing this difficulty here. And she knows that this is all because of him. As long as he is there, this is bound to be there. She has to tackle him. So that is the background with which the canto begins. And now we come to the debate once more between Savitri and death. Once more arose the great destroying voice. Destroying, obviously. What does it do? It destroys and puts back all your gains into the past. Gets locked there. Destroying. Across the fruitless labor of the world, his huge denials, all defeating mind, pursued the ignorant march of dolorous time. So sorry, happy, anguished time. Pursued. So that is what he is doing, that is his purpose. His huge denial. In fact, that is what he is there for, denial. He is there for denial, death. Denial of all the divine possibilities of the new future. He will not allow. The past is hanging there, is solidly there, present there. Unless that is removed, the future cannot come. And then he says to Savitri. Savitri was chanting the hymn of felicity and all that. And he said, look, this is what he is here. Behold the figures of the symbol realm, a solid outlines of creative dream, inspiring the great concrete task of earth. In its motion parable of human life, here the country, the outcome nature gives. The sin of being and the error of things and the desire that compels to live and man's incurable melody of hope. So this is what happens here. The sin of being, that you exist, finally what happens? You come back. Error of things, everything is here now. So the sin and error, these are of course the Christian terms, theologically. They are not in the Indian philosophy. Past karma is there, but not in the form of sin and error. is motion parable. The word parable occurs, I think, how many times in Savitri? Now, of course, parable is a story also of narrating like a fable, but here it is not that meaning. Motion parable is not in that sense. Yeah, it is not in that sense. It is conveying a certain meaning. Basically, parable means it conveys a certain meaning by suggestion. Motion parable of human life. The whole thing is a parable of human life. It is conveying a certain sense, a meaning. 4 times. It is motion parable of human life. Here thou canst trade the outcome nature gives. So whatever nature has done, what has happened? Finally got lost into the past. To sin of being and the error of things, and the desire that compels to live, and man's incurable melody of hope. So man keeps on hoping, but it's incurable melody, according to him. In an immutable order's hierarchy, where nature changes not, man cannot change. So according to him, if you want man to change nature first. Change nature first. Ever he obeys the fixed mutations law. In a new version of her oft-told tale parable. In ever-wheeling cycles turns the race. Now here, fixed mutation. Mutation, that is a change, fixed. You see? So that is a very beautiful oxymoron. It's a very beautiful oxymoron, you see. Yeah. Ever he obeys or fixed her nature. Nature's fixed. Her laws are there, but keeps on changing. See, in the sense that, okay, this tree is there, tomorrow another tree will come, third day it will be always green. So it is fixed, the green is fixed, but it has changed constantly, mutation. Her fixed mutations law in a new version of her oft-told tale. His mind, he is man. He is man now. See, ever he obeys, he means again man. He is mind, man. For mind is man. Beyond thought, he cannot so. This is absolutely correct. There is no doubt about that, see. Because he is a mental being. He is not making a wrong statement that way. But that is not all. If he could leave his limits, he would be safe. He sees but cannot mount to his greater heaven. Even wind, he sinks back to his native soil. Yeah, we have to come down again, you see. He is a captive in his net of mind. So you have thrown the net of mind and you are trapped into that, you see. Mental being. And beats soul wings against the walls of life. In vain his heart lifts up its yearning prayer. People with brilliant gods the formless void, then disappointed the void he returned, and in his happy nothingness asks release. The calm nirvana of his dream of self, the world in silence and in not the name. He struggles. So that is the fate of the mental being. He is describing the fate of the mental being. Apart amid the mortal multitudes, he calls the Godhead incommunicable. He invites the gods, but they are not able to communicate with him. To be the lover of his lonely soul, or cast his spirit into his void embrace, or he finds his copy in the impartial all. He imparts to the immobile his own will. Yeah, this is what we do. We prepare our own formulations and impose them on God, or he finds his copy in the impartial all. He imparts to the immobile his own will, attributes to the eternal wrath and love. So we blame God for everything. And to the ineffable lends 1,000 names. Yeah. See, we chant 1,000 names of Vishnu. Sahasra Nama. Sahasra means 1,000. Sahasra Nama. We chant 1,000 names. So we chant him by various names. And to the ineffable lends 1,000 names. Hope not to call God down into his life. Again, a monosyllabic line, very beautiful line. Hope not to call God down into his life. He is addressing it to Savitri. Into his life, into man's life, don't hope to call God down. Savitri is attempting that, to call God down into man's life. And he says, sorry, this is the fate of man. This is what he has seen, the past. Everything disappears into it. Therefore, hope not to call God down into his life. How shall thou bring the everlasting here? So that is the denial. We have seen no earlier. Huge denial. He is the huge denial. Hope not. That is the denial. There is no house for him in hurrying time. For him. For God. In time, God cannot live. In hurrying time. There is no house for him, for God. Vainly thou seekest in matter's world an aim. No aim is there. Only a will to be, just to exist. All walk by nature, bound forever, the same. Look on these forms, just stay a while and pass. Now he's staying, they're passing through. He says, look at all these things, the whole panorama. They live for a while and pass away and come here. Look on this form, just stay a while and pass. These lives that long and strive, then no more. These structures that have no abiding truth. The Savior creeds that cannot save themselves, but perish in the strangling hands of the ear, discarded from man's thought, proved false by time. Philosophies that strip all problems bare, they vanish again. Today you have got one philosophy, tomorrow you have got another. Day after tomorrow you have one more, goes on. But nothing ever has solved since earth began. That is true. And science is omnipotent in vain. So we have done marvelous things, but they are again finally vain. You cannot conquer death with all those things, see, by which men learn what the suns are made, transform all forms to serve their outward need, ride to the sky and sail beneath the sea. So he is narrating the whole history, but learn not what they are or why they came, these polities, architectures of man's brain. So all these formulations of societies, all these architectures, they are all vain, that bricked with evil and good, wall in man's spirit, and fissured houses, palaces at once, and jail, rot while they reign and crumble before they crash. These revolutions, demon or drunken god, convulsing the wounded body of mankind, only to paint in new colors an old face. So it's the same face, but we are giving only different colors to that face. These wars, carnage triumphant, ruin gone mad, the work of centuries vanishing in an hour. The blood of the vanquished and the victor's crown, which men to be born must pay for their pain. The hero's face divine or satyrs limb. The demon's grandeur makes to the demigod the glory and the beasthood and the shame. Why is it all the labor and the din, the transient joy, the timeless sea of tears, the longing and the hoping and the cry, the longing and the hoping and the cry. Again, see the longing and the hoping and cry, I am Pirik, I am Pirik, I am, like that, you see. And the longing and the hoping and the cry, the battle, the victory and the fall, see. The aimless journey that can never pause, the vacant toil, the incoherent sleep. 144.14. This is the longest sentence in Savitri. 33 lines. 33 lines in Savitri. In one breath, he has spoken, he has given you the entire history of mankind. In one breath. In 33 lines. The waking toil, the incoherent sleep. 33 lines. Well, actually, I will say it is more than 33 lines. Up to here, as we have got here, there are 33 lines. But take these two lines. Song, shouts and weeping, wisdom and idle words, the laughter of men, the irony of the gods, they are all in vain. These two lines are without a verb. These two lines are without a verb. And they are again repeated with a question mark. Actually, when you have got a series of question marks, the whole thing becomes a single sentence. The whole thing becomes a single sentence, without capitals. The word for that is, why is it all? Why is it all? Why song, shouts and weeping, wisdom and idle words and laughter of men and the irony of God. So those 33 lines, plus I will add these two lines also. That is 35. And plus one more.
Yeah. Why did you stop there?
Yeah, just
No, really, because
actually I should read continuously. I should read up to here. Even here. Yeah. So 33 plus 4, 37 lines. Or else, self-mode, the world was its own way. That also can be added to that. Or else. The whole thing is one single sentence. This number of question marks means it is one single sentence. But here, it is slightly different. This is slightly different. Or nothing is there, but only a mind that dreams. The world is a myth that happened to come true, a legend told by itself by conscious mind, imaged and played on a faint matter's ground, on which it stands in an unsubstantial vast. So the world is standing on unsubstantial vast. And who is the author of this world? Mind is the author. It is mind who has created the whole thing. It is mental creation. Spectator, actor, stage, he is all. He is the author, he is the spectator, he is the playwright, he is the actor, he is the stage, everything is it. Mind only is, and what it thinks is seen. Therefore, if mind is all, or mind can never, if mind is all, renounce the hope of bliss. You are chanting the hymn of felicity, forget about bliss if mind is all. If mind is all, there is no felicity at all, there is no bliss at all. If mind is all, renounce the hope of bliss. If mind is all, renounce the hope of truth. Which is true. But in other words, he also admits that possibly mind is not all. He says if mind is all, renounce. For mind can never touch the body of truth, and mind can never see the soul of God. Only his shadow It grasps, nor hears his laugh, as it turns from him to the vain seeming thing. So he is condemning everything. You are a mental being, and therefore, this is what it is, creation. Mind is a tissue woven of light and shade, which is true, chiaroscuro. Where right and wrong has shown their mingled part, or mind is nature's marriage of covenants between truth and falsehood, between joy and pain. The struggling pair, no court can separate. Struggling pair, truth and falsehood, joy and pain. They will be always together as long as there is mind only. If mind is nature's marriage of covenants. Now, mind is a tissue woven by light, that is all right. Here, marriage of covenants. In my opinion, this word is a coinage of Sri Aurobindo, covenants. Covenants does not exist in the standard dictionary. Covenant is there. Understanding. Covenant is there. Covenant. So from covenant he has made covenants of mutuality, of understanding, of agreement. Marriage of covenants. But what we have in the revised edition is convenance.
Convenance. Yeah, because I have convenance.
You have got convenance.
But I thought it's like this in English. It's not it.
What you have in the revised edition is convenance.
It's like arranged marriage.
Yeah. Convenance is convenience. It's a convenience of marriage.
But this one it says arranged marriage.
But here, I think covenants has a different shade and meaning and content. It is not convenance. It is not convenance.
What does it mean covenant?
Covenant, I give the covenant, the holy covenant in the church, of spirit and matter covenant.
Convent. Like convent. No,
Yeah.
exactly. He said it's not covenant. Covenant is not covenant. What
So
does
it has some kind of an occult content in it, covenant. Let me tell you exactly. What I have written here, let me see if I got written here. Yeah. Covenants, I am putting in the term of covenant. Covenant made by Sri Aurobindo as covenants here. Covenants means binding agreement, a compact. Binding agreement between two. That is covenant.
this is covenant?
Covenant.
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 But same meaning as covenant. No?
So covenant is the standard word, covenant. It means that a binding agreement between two, between the church and God. There is a covenant, a binding agreement between the two. That is the theological sense of covenant. You see. What they have made is convenance. That is suitability, expediency. Marriage of suitability, of expediency. Kind of a compromise of being together. Convenance means suitable, convenient.
No.
Convenience.
Convenient. It means
Convenience would mean suitability. Which is suitable, which is agreeable. Whereas covenant means binding, bound together. You are getting the difference? No? Okay, let me read again. Marriage of convenance. Marriage bound by agreement, by a compact. That is marriage bound by agreement. You are bound together. You chant, you do something, whatever it is, you are bound together by marriage. The covenant, as I said, we keep aside the theological part of it. Between God and man, covenant is different. But marriage of covenant means a agreed proposal of being together. That is covenant. Covenant. Whereas convenience, marriage of convenience. Okay, conveniently we marry for a certain purpose, for a certain. It means it can be dissolved also.
Yeah, but when there is a marriage of convenience, agreement, it cannot be without convenience.
No, convenience is different. You see, it is convenient to marry.
If you make agreement between two, it means it's
You are bound.
for the one and the other.
You have to marry me or I kill you.
No, yes.
Yeah, in the extreme cases, it is not convenient for
No.
you. It's still a covenant.
He said covenant is agreement between two. So the
Bound. Covenant is binding.
You mean compulsory?
Yes, you are bound together. When you perform a marriage ceremony, it means that you are bound together.
If you want it or not.
Oh, like this.
Ah,
So it's the opposite of
yes.
It's the opposite of yes.
Ah. Bound together. Covenant, binding agreement. A compact. You have made a compact to be together. Agreement. Convenience, suitability, convenience, expediency, propriety. So, what we have is convenience in this edition. What they have made is convenience. See, that has diluted the whole effect. It has, yeah. It has diluted the whole effect. Now, I don't know whether there is any basis for changing convenience to convenience. Covenants to convenience. What we have here is covenants, and they have it convenience in the revised edition. The only argument which I see is the word covenants does not exist in the English dictionary. But my argument is covenants may not exist, covenant exists. And Sri Aurobindo takes the liberty of converting that thing into covenants, which is perfectly justified, you see.
Okay, then what does it mean that the mind is the marriage of convenience between truth and falsehood?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
Yeah, mind is a nature's marriage of covenant. It is a kind of a binding together, not a convenience. Our mind is nature's marriage of covenants between truth and falsehood.
Yes.
Between truth and falsehood, a compact has been made.
Okay, so the mind is compulsory by whom?
By mind, by mind. So mind sees nature's marriage.
By the nature.
Mind sees nature's marriage of falsehood and truth as a compact or a convenience.
Yeah, but by whom?
By mind. Mind is nature's marriage. Marriage looks at it.
The mind is the marriage.
Huh? You see, it is in nature's. It is nature's nature's marriage between truth and falsehood. Marriage is between truth and falsehood, made by nature. By nature. And mind sees as a covenant or convenience. Or mind is nature's marriage of covenants. I will retain covenants as it is. Between truth and falsehood, between joy and pain. The struggling pair, no cord can separate. You see, it is a binding, so there is no question of separation. It is not a convenience. No cord can separate, so it is a binding. Each thought is a gold coin with bright alloy. And error and truth are its obverse and reverse. This is the imperial mintage of the brain. So it is mind who has created this thing, you see. Brain. This is the imperial mintage of the brain, and of this kind is all its currency. Mind has created it. See, you take a coin, toss it, you say head and tail. Now this head and tail is your creation. You have put on one side head, on the other side tail, and you say head and tail. If you take a coin which is blank on both the sides and toss it, you don't know what is what. You toss a coin without any mark on either side, you don't know what is what. You cannot. Because you have put red here and blue there, you say red and blue. It is your imposition on the coin which has made that difference. The coin does not differentiate that. That is true. Even in the case of a dice, you have got 6 faces. You have put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then say, the die does not see any difference between this and that. Think not to plant on earth the living truth, or make matters world the home of God. Truth comes not there, but only the thought of truth. God is not there, only the name of God. So that is the assertion of the denier. He is asserting, think not of plant on earth living truth. Impossible. Falsehood and truth cannot live here, because mind is there. Altogether. God is not there, only the name of God. If self is there, it is bodiless and unborn. It is no one and it is possessed by none. Self is possessed by none, it is no one. That is true. On what shalt thou then build thy happy world? If self is there like that, then on what? What is the basis? Cast off thy life and mind, then art thou self, and all seeing omnipotent stark alone. If God there is, He cares not for the world. He cares not for the world. All things He sees with calm, indifferent gaze. He has doomed all hearts to sorrow and desire. He has bound all life with His implacable law. He answers not the ignorant voice of prayer. So you go to the temple, you go worship and all that thing, no response. Eternal while the ages toil beneath, unmoved, untouched by aught that He has made, He sees as minute details mid stars, the animal's agony in the fate of man, immeasurably wise. He exceeds thy thought, His solitary joy needs not thy love. His truth in human thinking cannot dwell. This is absolutely correct. Yeah. His truth in human thinking cannot dwell. That is of course true. If thou desirest truth, then still thy mind. Make your mind quiet. Forever slain by the dumb unseen light. Immortal bliss lives not in human air. How shall the mighty mother her calm delight keep fragrant in its narrow, fragile vase? So our vase is a fragile vase, and you want the flowers to remain always fragrant. How can she do that? Or lodge her sweet, unbroken ecstasy in hearts which earthly sorrow can assail, and bodies careless death can slay at will. Dream not to change the world that God has planned. Strive not to alter His eternal law. Dream not to change the world that God has planned. So that is the assertion of the denier. He is a firm denier. Impossible, impossible. And you are trying something which is impossible. If heavens there are whose gates are shut to grief, grief cannot enter into the gates of heaven. They are shut to grief. If they are such heaven, there seek the joy. Go and live there. There seek the joy thou couldst not find on earth. But don't think of changing things here. Or in the imperishable hemisphere where light is native and delight is king. Yes, maybe there. Go and live there. And spirit is the deathless ground of things. Choose thy high station, child of eternity. If you are the child of eternity, go and live there. Don't bother about it. It is impossible here. Means he is denying the possibility of Savitri bringing about a change in this creation. Impossible. If thou art spirit and nature is thy robe, what we are seeing is a ritual. Cast off thy garb and be thy naked self, immutable is undying truth, alone forever in the mute alone. Go and stay there alone. Go and stay there alone. Alone forever in the mute alone. We have seen this thing last time also earlier, no? Alone forever in the mute alone. M capital, A small. Alone forever in the mute, this M capital, in the mute alone. See? But here it is alone which is. Turn then to God, for Him, leave all behind, forgetting love, forgetting Satyavan, annul thyself in His immobile, go and stay there, be happy there. O soul, drown in His still beatitude, for thou must die to thyself to reach God's height. I, death, I am the gate of immortality. Because you have to die to yourself, therefore I am death, leading you to immortality. Die to yourself, nature, and go and live there. I am making the room for you, making the way for you. For thou must die to thyself to reach God's height. I, death, am the gate of immortality.